I'm in my Evernote notebook, and when I was working this summer, the first thing that I did was I set up a notebook for each student, and then I created a notebook for my homeroom class. And then I was able to stack the notebooks so that all of my students' notebooks sit in this notebook for my homeroom for the year. It was just a way of organizing it. So when I open that up, you can see all of the student notebooks. I also created a notebook for forms because there were some forms that I knew I was going to want to have quick access to fill in quickly for data collection purposes. So that's what I'm going to show you now. I have the all forms, and in there right now I have the status of the class form, which I created over the summer, and then I inserted also Kim's reading conference form that she shared with us over the weekend. So that's there as well. I haven't used that yet. But I'm going to show you my status of the class form. So what I did was I set up in Google Docs the status of the class form, and then once it was created, I pasted the link into the Evernote notebook. So I just created a new note, pasted the link. You can see I did some tagging here so I can find it quickly if I need to. And then when I start my reading session every day and I'm ready to do my status of the class, all I have to do, I'll have my Evernote open, I click on this link, and it opens up the status of the class form. So I quickly fill in the information, and I'm just going to do that now so I can show you quickly. I'm just going to do a quick one here. And so I'm filling in each piece of information. I made all of mine required. And I have a section for the reread. Now when I click submit, it's going to send that to a Google Doc, and what I like about this is then I can just click submit another response and it opens right back up. So I'm not having to go back and forth, which was the time-saving piece for me, and was the biggest question I think I've had from people about concerned about doing it this way. I don't want to have to open up another document, and Google Docs has already taken care of that. So once I've submitted the form, then it goes to this spreadsheet, and then the spreadsheet has all of the information that I put in. What I like about this for status of the class is then I can manipulate this information for data collection purposes. I can look quickly and see what types of genres my class as a whole is reading in their independent reading time. And this really will help me in planning my book talks in particular. So if I'm noticing that everybody's reading only fantasy, then I know I need to do some book talking of some other genres and not fantasy for a while, because they're finding that on their own without any problem. Also helps me see format. So that I know for planning purposes when I'm conferencing with individual students, if they're always in graphic novels, then I might want to nudge them, offer another suggestion to them, not discourage them from that format, but just know that I need to be aware that they're sticking with one thing, and how am I going to nudge them into some other formats to expand their reading horizons. And so that's how I ended up using Google Docs and Evernote together to get around that piece that we can't seem to figure out of how do we put living documents within Evernote that we can just fill in one way at a time. So that is how I got around that. So hopefully that is helpful to you.